Greetings. My name is Kenneth Charles David III. On the morning of Tuesday, October 28th, 2014, I was wrongfully accused of a crime that I did not commit. Unaware to me at the time, there was a warrant placed for my arrest. There was no evidence for this warrant. There was no probable cause. There was no reason at all for me to do what was claimed that I did. I was not even questioned about what happened before the warrant was hastily and unjustly placed. Throughout the day, my accuser harassed me, mockingly stating that she will show me what's up and that I will be homeless soon. After several hours of this, I finally contacted the Denver Police Department to find out exactly what she had done. Not 10 minutes later, 3 Denver police officers were at my door, flashlights in my face. They asked me to tell them the events of that morning, and I explained as best as I could at the time. This was futile, as the warrant had already been placed near the time of my accuser falsifying a police report on me. Within minutes, I was in handcuffs and put in the back seat of their vehicle and hauled off to jail. One of the police officers had a firm knowledge of my abusive situation, as he had been to our home several times at the call of neighbors and myself, and he proceeded to mock me about the issue instead of having the common sense to see what was really happening. Before sunrise on October 29th, I was imprisoned, scared, confused, and uninformed of what was claimed against me. No one would tell me what was said about the events that happened the morning of the 28th. I spent the next several days in the Denver Detention Center, heartbroken from missing my children, worried about several contract jobs that I had been assigned to in which I could not contact the contractees and tell them I will not be able to attend. I was a no-call, no-show, and the company which provides me with these contracts has a very strict no-call, no-show policy. So what little income I was making at the time was threatened, all because of a falsified, evidenceless, unreasonable, and unprovable accusation. Accusation made by someone who for the past 6 years has tormented me through severe and traumatic verbal, psychological, and even physical abuse. Physical abuse which was in fact physically provable due to the bleeding scratches my accuser left on my arms. My accuser constantly screams at me, shouting profane, obscene, derogatory remarks towards me and my family, including my dead mother, in front of the 1-year-old and 5-year-old that we brought into this world together. In order to protect my children and I have been collecting audio and video recordings on my computer and on my phone in accordance with Colorado state law. I have hours of these episodic and explicit outbursts from my accuser. My accuser has even gone so far as to delete several said recordings off my phone when I was in incarceration. She did this in a felonious attempt to cover up the crimes of her abusive nature against me. My brother, who has been here at my request since mid-September, has been a strong witness to the abuse and has even received the same psychological lashings my accuser places on me. Again, all of this in front of our children. On November 1st, I was released on bail, which was provided by a family member and guardian angel, but due to the unjust restraining order placed on me, I am not legally allowed to return to my home. My brother was able to bring me some of my necessities, but he was not allowed to bring my children to see me so that I could spend time with them, having yearned for them very much while falsely imprisoned. He himself was later threatened by my accuser that if he did not leave, that she would call the police and claim that he was trespassing. So he gathered his things and left and met back up with me, having to embarrassingly leave some of his large items where he works, as they were simply too heavy to carry around. We spent that night futilely trying to find a windless, semi-warm place to sleep in the Colorado cold to have energy for the next day, which is today. While sitting next to a bridge in this freezing cold, I finally decided that enough is enough. There has to be a change. I am making a stand for myself, for my family, and for all of the fathers who have had to bear the burden of torment that I have gone through these past few years. On November 4th, I will appear for my disposition/reset hearing. The prosecution will try to give me a plea bargain and try to convince me to waive my legal rights, but I will refuse to do so. I once again will be asked my plea, and I will tell them once again what I told them before while wrongfully shackled at the ankles. In light of the many recent public stories of domestic violence in this country, it is time that someone stood up for the hidden abuse that society, the media, and sadly, the justice system brushes under the rug as if it is not happening to decent fathers through the world on a daily basis. On November 4th, I will request a trial by jury by 6 of my peers, but I am requesting more than that. I am opening up my private life to the world and making the world my jury. I, Kenneth Charles Davey III, on the charges of domestic violence assault, plead not guilty to the falsified claims towards me. I make this plea for all of the fathers who have had to go through what I have. All of the fathers who have lost jobs, have lost credibility, and even lost the right to be with their children. I make this plea for all of the children who have witnessed the abuse and psychological and physical torment their fathers go through, all without proper due process. I make this plea to the justice system and the peoples of the world to make this stand and create a resource for all fathers who are in a similar situation. This resource I have named DadsAlsoDeserveJustice.com. I intend to start this as a nonprofit 501c3 to build a website with easily accessible resources for neglected fathers, as well as pushing for political and legal reform on the issues related to all domestic violence cases. But I need the help of everyone, everywhere. Every father who has hid in a bathroom or a closet while suffering verbal torment. Every father who gave into the unjust plea bargains. Every father who had to sleep in the cold of the night as they had a protection order and could not go home. I make this plea for every child who has cried as their daddy was taken away for a crime that the child knew did not happen. Every child who was given custody to the aggressive parent who manipulated the justice system in a sick and disgusting manner. Every child who buried their own father because of the depression such pain causes when the justice system fails decent dads. Having given my plea of not guilty for myself and all of the good fathers neglected by the legal system, I, Kenneth Charles Davey III, now accuse the justice system of the United States of pure ineptitude to properly see justice is served in all domestic abuse situations. So what is your plea? Dads also deserve justice, and in knowing the truth of what really happens to fathers behind closed doors, the truth shall set us free of the pain we have silently endured, all while trying to keep some semblance of a family instead of just giving up to our own right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness.